Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for James. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, movie reviews, re-reviews, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, tier lists, rankings, video game playthroughs, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. And for those who sent them, thank you. I do appreciate it. And this is for Three Men and a Baby from 1987. Now, despite what people may think, I am a huge fan of this movie. I'm a huge fan of this film. It's a childhood favorite. I loved it ever since I saw it as a kid. Saw it countless times as a kid. And throughout the years, this always brings a smile to my face because I really love the actors. I think the first half and the last half are pretty funny. The middle portion I like, although some little caveats here and there which I'll get to. But this is a film that I think had a lot of talent behind it and was a very endearing movie, and that's what helped make it a hit. Now, before I go on, this is a remake of a French film, and I think the story is based on a story from a long time ago, but overseas there was a film called Three Men and a Cradle, I believe, and then eventually got remade into this. Now, Leonard Nimoy, yes, Spock, from the original Star Trek, directed this. More than likely because they saw, well, this guy directed Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4, those were big box office hits. Okay, let's see if he could direct something else. So he does Three Men and a Baby. And this, people forget how big of a film this was. It's different genres, but Obsession, the film that came out this year, that came out of nowhere, and people were like, what the? And it became a bit of a phenomenon. Again, different genres, but that's how Three Men and a Baby was. People didn't expect it to be that big of a hit. But it was the #1 film in the U.S. in 1987. It made the most money in the United States of any other 1987 film. Now think about that. 87, the year of Predator, RoboCop, Lethal Weapon. Hell, just those alone. But this film made the most money. It made a lot of money for Disney because Touchstone Pictures, who released this, are attached to Disney. Disney films or live action Disney films were not as, like, they made money, but a lot of them weren't that money making of hits, at least to that extent. Now, of course, next year you had Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which did even better. But I'm just reiterating all this because this is only on DVD. It's only on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray. It's not on 4K. I know Disney, they're pains in the ass when it comes to that. But sometimes they'll have someone release a Fox release, or like Commando. I think it's the end of 4K. That was a Fox film, and Disney owns Fox. And there's a few other films coming out soon. Why not this film? I don't understand how a film that was that popular at that time period doesn't get a release on anything other than a fucking DVD. And people, why don't you? Well, people don't talk about this film anymore because they have nowhere to fucking watch the film. Now, to be fair, you can find HD on streaming sites, to be fair. But when a Blu-ray, when a 4K gets announced, it gets into the news. People go, oh, I haven't thought about that film in a while, or oh, I've never seen that film, or let me give that film a shot. It's like a bit of promotion when that stuff happens. Now, unofficially, I have a Blu-ray because an official one didn't come out. But yeah, I would like an actual official version. I think this film deserves it. The sequel, not so much. Although the sequel did make some money. to be fair. But I'm not really a fan of the sequel. But yeah, this film, the fact it's only stuck on DVD is pure bullshit. Fuck you, Disney. Now, at the end to the film itself, what I love about the film is the way the three actors, the three main characters, interact with each other. They work well together. They have excellent chemistry with each other. Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, and Ted Danson. I like all three of these guys. I'm a big Tom Selleck fan. I love Runaway. Another film that has not gone to Blu-ray in the U.S. There's another film that deserves it, or a 4K. But yeah, I love Tom Selleck. I know he's been doing a lot of the show Blue Bloods. It's sad he didn't become a bigger movie star. Of course, at one point he was going to be Indiana Jones, but then Man and P.I. wouldn't let him. But then, funny enough, Man and P.I. took so long to eventually get it shot, like to get started, that he could have done Indiana Jones and Man and P.I. both. So he got screwed out of that. But Harrison Ford became the Indiana Jones, to be fair. But Tom Selleck, I think he would have done a good job as well. But yeah, I think he's just got a lot of charisma, a lot of likability. Steve Guttenberg, I've always been a fan of. People mock him for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of that whole Simpsons thing where who makes Steve Guttenberg a star? We do. You know, the Friar Club, whatever the fucking club was. But this is a guy that you look at the Police Academy films and Short Circuit and Cocoon and this film and Diner. He was pretty damn successful. More than a lot of other people got. And in the 90s, I don't know, it just didn't seem like he had as many opportunities. Like, he was in films, but like It Takes Two, which I saw recently, and I didn't mind it. But yeah, I've always liked him. I didn't seem like a very nice guy. If you look at some of his Instagram posts, he's just a product of positivity. And Ted Danson, I always thought he had a good charm. I didn't watch a whole lot of Cheers, but I've seen bits and pieces, and I liked what I saw. And hell, I liked him in Creep Show, among other stuff, and yeah, never minded him. I thought they did their jobs well. Tom Selleck plays the architect. Steve Guttenberg is the cartoonist. Ted Danson is more the actor, ladies' man type of guy. And again, they have a good camaraderie with each other. You're a very decent man. Oh no, I'm a goddamn saint. And they're bachelors. They're doing well with the women. And also, this is, in a good way, a product of the 80s. Again, I mean that as the highest compliment, because I miss that. The use of music, I love the song choices, I love the montages, I think they work so well. Nowadays, if you consider the idea of a montage as done and it's got to be either a parody or laughable, because they're laughable, I'm like, no. Montages worked and help tell a story. Why do you think in the early days of YouTube, music videos from fans were popular? I don't take this movie, I don't have a song and try to work on my edits, and you're telling a whole story of a movie in 3 or so minutes to this song and gets people excited, because visuals and music in particular, can be a compelling aptitude for a story to get your emotions flowing through your membranes. So, I like the song use of bad boys, boys will be boys, bad boys, bad boys. Make me feel so good. It fits with these characters, it fits with the tone. that's trying to make of this film of a comedy. A very interesting looking place where Steve Guttenberg has painted the whole place. And you see montages of how, them being lucky with women, some more than others. And then you see them at a party. And like a lot of fun little moments. Like this girl who Tom Selleck likes, and they've been with each other for a while. Well, Steve Guttenberg is filmed with the video cameras, talking to her. And, well, what do you like about Peter? It's Tom Selleck's character, Peter. I think it is. Because I'm bad with character names. What do you like about Tom Selleck? Well, I like this and this. And he's got the biggest. And she just grabs Steve Guttenberg's crotch. Thank you, Rebecca. You're welcome, Michael. See, I remember his name because of the way she says that. Yeah, there's Peter, Michael, and what was Ted Danson's character? Doesn't matter. Well, eventually Ted Danson's character has to leave because he's doing acting dig in Turkey. So while he has left, eventually Tom Selleck and then Steve Guttenberg, they find a baby dropped at their door. And they find a note saying, "This is our baby." So apparently Ted had gotten someone pregnant and the mom had left the baby there. Tom and Steve don't know what to do. They think at first it's a joke, it's a dad. And they go, "Oh no. I knew it. I knew he'd do it. I knew one day they'd come up to..." And to me, it's fun and it's endearing and it's relatable of... I put myself in that situation. I wouldn't know what to do if a baby all of a sudden showed up. I wouldn't know a damn thing of what to do. I'm not picked it up. You picked it up. You found it. And just sort of the exasperation and confusion and fear and making mistakes and fumbling around and Steve trying to cheer the baby up and doesn't know how to do it. Tom Selleck getting the baby supplies and he sees how big the aisle is and he's like, "They gotta be kidding." And he's trying to find what to get and asking the person and like, "Get this, but what am I supposed to get? How old's your baby?" "About that old." "You know how old your baby is?" "No, I just, I mean, how is he? Yeah, again, it's relatable because I put myself in this situation. It's probably what I would do too, because I wouldn't know how the fuck old the baby was. And eventually he comes back and he bought a lot of supplies and he changed the diaper. And again, I just see this being relatable because I wouldn't know what to do either. And I'd be icky, upset about it as well. And just the way Tom Selleck and Steve Guttenberg play off each other, it's one of my favorite scenes. It's a scene I could watch any time and still laugh my ass off. Because they just play off each other naturally. The baby's cute. As like, "Give me... No, I don't need the whole package. I just need a little bit of cotton, okay? No, give me the wipes. Would you hold her for a minute? The kid's getting all crazy, getting away from me. I don't want to. Come on, Michael." And then they put the diaper. "These diapers too big. They're super absorbent." "The more absorbent, the better, if you ask me." And you know what's going to happen, but eventually he picks it up and it falls. And she pees. And he's like, "The inset was just waiting for that to happen. We're in trouble, Peter." And the score, I think the score fits. Like the way the musical score is light and bouncy without being too kitty cartoony. So it's fitting with the tone. It has a warm light flow to the music. And just the reactions, like Steve Bloomberg cleaning up the couch. He's like, don't kill that guy. Don't kill him. Talk about Ted Danson's character. Don't kill him. Or they're trying to wash the baby, and Steve doesn't really, because it's awkward. She's a girl. Should we be doing this? Come on, Michael. No, you gotta get where the poops was at. And then Steve like gets a turkey baster. No, you gotta clean. Well, what about this? You don't put the baby lotion. Well, it says for skin and chafing. Well, it won't hurt. And the way Tom Selleck looks at him. I mean, the whole scene to just... Yeah, the two actors playing off each other very well. And the actors just doing a good job. And then pretty much their journey is they're trying to figure out what to do. They're trying to talk to Tom Selleck's on again, off again girlfriend. And she's with this guy. Well, she did a doodle. Yeah, a doodle. Don't they have that in France or whatever? Yeah, a doodle. You know what that means? One of my favorite bits is later on when Steve and Tom are arguing, and well, we're not bathing her in the hall. And Steve has baby powder and goes, well, maybe we should start, God damn it! And the baby powder erupts all over the pool table. And without missing a beat, Tom Selleck goes, you're going to be cleaning that up. Or like Tom Selleck is reading like a boxing mag. What are you reading? In the 5th round, he hit him in the gut. But you can't read her that. It's not what I'm reading to her. It's the tone you use. Which, yeah, probably absolutely correct. So that stuff, like, just them trying to figure out what to do, how to deal with it. I did see myself in that place being just as confused, just as scared. But you also see the care that they're putting into the kid, and they're trying their best, and that's endearing. Now, there is a whole subplot, B plot, where Ted Danson had left a message saying that a friend of mine is supposed to drop off a package. They thought this was the package, but Ted didn't know that. It was a different package. But they don't figure that out till later when the guys come over to pick up the package. Like, you want us to take the baby? That was their arrangement, right? Then they find out, wait, there was another package that came that day. And Tom Selleck trips and finds out there was heroin in this package. And then with the thanks of a cop and such, they're able to stop and get the baby back. And a detective is snooping around. And I will say, maybe this was in the original version of the film. You know, the 3 men in a cradle. As many times as I watched the film, again, I liked it because I'm so used to it, because I've seen it countless times. So it's nostalgic, so it doesn't... I wouldn't say it bothers me, but... It's one of those things in the back of my head, I'm sitting there going, I don't know how much this drug, heroin subplot works for the film. Because if you do talk about the film, you always talk about the stuff at the beginning, or this, and the first 30, 40 minutes, or the last 20, 30 minutes. I'm not sure many people bring up that section with the drug subplot. And I don't know if it was needed. It's like, well, we got to put in there so that the movie is, you know, an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes. Or they have some kind of danger or some kind of whatever. Yeah, I just don't know if as effective or if it was needed at the end of the day. Because eventually Ted Danson comes home and some stuff happens, and then they have this meeting where Ted is pretending to. He's got like these girly clothes on, and there's this meeting where Steve Guttenberg's got the video camera, and there's an exchange. They get stuck in the elevator, and Ted Danson doesn't know how to work the elevator controls. And I mean, that's still fun. I still get enjoyment out of that. But I always, even as a kid, I thought, okay, this is kind of the less interesting part of the movie. And part of me wishes that it was just more of them learning the basics of taking care of the baby. I kind of like all the other little mishaps, taking the baby out, and what maybe being too worried, being too paranoid, the baby here, baby there, it is, may get hurt, may get in trouble, may this and that. Or maybe they invite women back, but then the instead of getting laid, the the more, oh, look at the baby. There's like, well, so much for getting laid tonight, or something. I don't know, just. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm drowning here. I just want to send the. Yeah, I don't know if the whole subplot is really necessary. It just feels very, in a way, out of place for the tone of the movie, for the plot of the movie. But again, it's the way the characters interact with each other. Even when Ted Danson comes back and he's trying to figure out what to do, and Tom Selleck goes, "Figure out yourself, dickhead." I thought that was funny. Oh, when the two of them go out and they try to call and they're paranoid, they come back, and Ted Danson's like, "What? I was with the baby in the shower. We were having fun." And so the next scene is they're trying. They've hired someone to put a phone in the shower. You get many calls in here? I don't know how the hell that works, putting a phone in the shower. I don't know. Wouldn't you have to be worried about the wires getting wet? But I don't know. It was a funny bit, funny gag. And then after the whole sting operation thing, there's a fun montage where they're with the baby and to Daddy's Girl. I think Peter Cetera. He's the same guy who did Glory of Love from Cry Kid Part 2. Again, I like the soundtrack. I like the song. It fits the movie. It's cute. Tom Selleck bringing the baby around his job. He's got a little baby hard hat on the kid. When Ted Danson's acting and he's doing pre on a play, planning it out. When he turns, you realize the baby's strapped to his back. I thought that was a funny reveal. When the baby is crying, the three of them seen it. Probably one of the big scenes people who do remember is, "Good night, sweetheart. Oh, it's time to go. I hate to see it, but I hate to say it, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart. Good night." I think it's a very sweet scene. Very nice scene. It's nice to see this kind of stuff when you look at the world of today. And that's the thing, when you look at the world of today, how dark or miserable or depressing it could be, it's nice to see a film like this that's uplifting, it's fun, and it's goofy, and it's entertaining, and it's sweet, and I wouldn't say overly sentimental, but it's sentimental in a good way. Gets your spirits up, gets a smile on your face, likable characters, cheery soundtrack of songs. You know, the type of film people need nowadays. At least in my eyes. And then at the very end, Nancy Travis comes by, which it's not the actress, it's the character. I hate the character she plays because, bitch, you dropped a fucking baby off. You abandoned your baby, you dropped it off. You didn't know what the fuck would happen with the baby. And now you're begging for it back, and eventually they let her go, and they're sad, and Ted Danson admits, no, I miss her. They chase in the taxi cab. They get to the plane. The plane leaves. They come back. They realize Nancy Travis didn't leave because she's scared. They're like, well, why you come live here? I'll build you a room. And then Steve Guttenberg repainted the place, so has all of them, including the baby, in there. Was the song "The Minute I Saw You"? Again, a nice uplifting song, totally 80s, again in a good way. It's such a fun movie. Like, it has such uplifting vibes to it. Uplifting vibes. If you're sad, if you're depressed, if you're going through times, tough times, this is what films like this were for. This is why I get pissed. I think this is why I get overly defensive when people dog films like this. When people dog films like this, it's like you don't get how, like, these films, these type of films should be good for the mentality of someone. That as escapist entertainment, like something that your brain needs to soak in some rays of sunshine in the shadow of darkness of reality, that could be what movies like this, their power is, comes from. I think for guys, it was funny because the three lead characters were cool and they were funny and they're relatable and they're likable. And the women, liked it because of the baby and how cute, and they like to have husbands, boyfriends, father of their kids, like these guys, who when they commit to it, they love and cherish the kid and take care of the kid. Optimism. We need a little bit of that nowadays. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Like I said, I love the film. I love the soundtrack. I love the cast. Still makes me laugh. I didn't enjoy the subplot. There's always that part of me that wishes they would have gone a different direction, or just not do it at all. Like you didn't. I'd just still be entertained by it. Doesn't make me upset or anything. There's still some funny bits. Like they tell Ted Danson... What does they tell Ted Danson while they're leaving? What was it? Right. Heroin in the diaper pail. Baby wipes in the cabinet. Where else would they be? And of course, one of my favorite jokes is when the baby does a doodle, and Steve Guttenberg tells Tom Selleck, you gotta change her. It's your turn. And Tom Selleck just looks at him and goes, I'll give you $1,000 if you do it. Sure. I may not like doing it, but I'll do it for $1,000. So it just, again, it's a fucking shame that this does not have a Blu-ray, let alone a 4K. It just is fucking shame. Make a big special edition. Leonard Nimoy has passed away. We'll love to have heard his thoughts on the film. Get Tom and Steve and Ted and have them talk about the movie before they're gone. Of quick light, 3 Minute Little Lady. Like I said, I was never a fan of the film. I just did not think it was nearly as funny. I didn't like the direction of the story, going overseas, the little girl. I don't know. I didn't like the way it was written. I didn't really care for the whole Tom Selleck fall in love with Nancy Travis's character. That didn't interest me. Again, it made money. It made over 70 million in the U.S. It was still profitable, just not nearly as big as the first one. And there was at times thoughts of doing a third movie, 3 Men and a Bride, which I guess would make sense in terms of them. Although at this point it'd be 3 Men and a Grandbaby. Well, yeah, it would. 3 Men and a Grandbaby. But they'll never do it. Maybe for best because look at sequels like Bill and Ted 3, which I was not a fan of, Dumb and Dumber 2, which I was not a fan of, This is Spinal Tap 2, which I was not a fan of. Sequels, very, very rarely. Blues Brothers 2000, very rarely when they're that many years apart. There are exceptions. Clerks 2. I liked Clerks 2. It's not strictly a comedy, but Beverly Hills Cop 4 I did like. But yeah, I just... It's a shame this is being forgotten. It doesn't deserve it. But I guess that's what people like me are here for. And James, who requested this, so thank you for that. It's great to rewatch this again. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.